Stuff about the raises, breakout years. You want to do this?
Yeah,
let's do this. What players need breakout years? Now, I think we could do this two ways. The players that need them individually, like, hey, it's a bad year for you, bro, go get it. Or like Georgia needs this player to have a breakout year for Georgia's success.
What if I gave
Which way did you go?
What if I gave you one of both?
Okay, go for it.
I think Dominic Lovett is one of both of these.
Yeah, it's a bag year.
It's a bag year. And then also Georgia needs Dominic Lovett to be a breakout player this year. Not that he wasn't great for them last year, but there's another level of Dominic Lovett, and we've touched on this since the spring game.
It's called the Mizzou level.
The Mizzou level, yeah. The Missouri Dominic Lovett. That's the Dominic Lovett that Georgia needs this year. And we've talked about this since the spring game because he looked like Missouri Dominic Lovett in the spring game. If they get 15, 16, 17 games of that version of Dominic Lovett, that is so crucial for this offense because it's great that they have these other transfer portal wide receivers, but this is a guy that Carson Beck just spent an entire season with. You're adding on another season. He's going to be a focal point of this offense. If there's anybody that I could see Bobo really feeding a lot this season from the receiver corps, it's Dominic Lovett. So I think it's crucial for this offense to really reach its full potential that Dominic Lovett is very successful.
There were like 3 or 4 times during G-Day where Mans was making the defender miss before he caught the football. That's how confident he was in his hands, or he is in his hands, I should say, where he's running a dig and it's the balls are getting thrown right over the snap, right over the hash. Ball's on the left hash. He's coming from the right to his left. Carson throws a dot to him right on over the ball, right? And he goes to pluck this football. And before he plucks the football, before it touches his hands, he sticks his right leg in the ground and he already is making the defender miss as he's catching the football. Jonel Aguero, sit down. We're off yards after the catch. And that's the difference, right? We saw some separation last year. We saw them try to get him the ball in some of these screen opportunities and stuff like that. But we did not see like dynamic plays after the catch like we did in G-Day and like we did at Missouri. So I think I'm right there with you. How about Dalen Everett? And he's tracking to do this. But if you really like go back and look at years past, Georgia has always come into the year with a returning starter that everyone knew was a dude. And then by way of the opponents attacking the other younger guy, that guy ultimately morphed into that version of that guy the next year. You see what I'm saying? Like before Kamari, there was Keeley, and everyone went after Keeley his first year, when he was starting on the other side in that Clemson game. Who was on the other side of him?
Amir Speed started out.
No, but Keeley ultimately took his role. Keeley got multiple PIs in that football game. Who was playing corner opposite of Keeley in that football game? Either way, they've always had a returning starter, and then the other dude's a young guy that's got to really earn his keep. Darian Kendrick. Darian Kendrick, a known dude, right? NFL football guy. They knew that. They didn't attack him. Look at the chat picking up on us before we move on. Good shit there, chat.
I don't know why I blanked on
that. I know why. I just didn't prepare for it, so I didn't even think about it. My brain didn't even go there. But nonetheless, you've had this kind of arc of returning dude. Okay, last year, that guy got picked on. He's going to be much better. Dalen needs to be that this year. He needs to be hey, we can't go after 6. He's gotten that much better. Everyone attacked him last year. Now he's a guy. All right, let's hunt the other group. All right, well, who's the other group? It's Daniel Harris. It's Julian Humphrey. It's Ellis Robinson. Like, make that group better because y'all are hunting them. That means 6 has been that good. If that's what we see, that means the tape has shown to opponents that Dalen Everett has become that good. You got another one?
Yeah, I think Trevor Etienne can be put into this category because he's going into this year as the first time ever as a starting running back. He was the 2 technically at Florida, but it felt like he was a starter. But I think it's pivotal that he is a breakout player for Georgia because if he doesn't kind of live up to these expectations and he isn't this transfer portal acquisition that really pays off for you, then you're kind of left again with some questions in the running back room. We talk about how deep it is, but it's deep because of someone like Trevor Etienne. It buys you time with Branson Robinson coming back from his injury.
And Nate Frazier being a freshman.
And not just having to put Roderick Robinson at the top of the depth chart and giving him the major totes. So I think he needs a breakout year because he also is going to help open up this offense. It lets you create another level to the offensive success that Bobo can work with. So I think that he needs a breakout year just to kind of really, again, make sure that the offense gets to its full potential.
I don't know about you, but there's a direct correlation in the fatness and the width of my tongue and how many words I say in a particular 2-hour show. And I think you just got hit with a fat tongue because your workload's been doubled tonight.
That's true.
Did you get fat tongued at all last week while I was gone?
probably.
Yeah. It happens, man. You don't know these things until you venture into these waters. Like, shit.
Got to build up the endurance.
I can only tread water for 35 minutes? I thought I had a good 55 in me. No, it's pretty hard to tread water, you big fatty. Oscar Delp. I think for him, the NFL knows what it is. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. He's going to go run 4.52. Like, he is an immense athlete. I want to see the connection between he and Carson become, really, really elite. Because if there's anybody that's going to be pressing the direct middle of the field, like immediately this year, it's going to be Oscar. We'll talk about Jurasic here in just a second with the film notes that we have on him from today's film study on patreon.com/Brooks Austin. But the guy I want to see some pop from, it's got to be 4. He's shown really, really good. I want to see flashes of great because, hey man, you got 3rd round evals right now. You got 4th round evals. If you show some pop, we might be a top 60 guy, man. Pop this year. That would be a really good thing for both you and the football team.
I think TID for me is another one of these breakout guys. I want to
see it, man.
Because it feels like it's been so close for so long, and we keep on because we know he's a good football player. He's so many flashes. I just want a full season's worth of that being replicated every single week. I know he's had some issues with injuries and whatnot, but I just want to see a full season's worth. And for him, if he has a full season's worth of just a breakout type year, and he's a big asset for Georgia on the defensive line, and he remains fully healthy, like that is a player that NFL teams are going to love. That is a player that is going to really heavily impact Georgia's defense. And I think it completely changes the defensive line for them.
I thought last year was kind of the introduction, the EP, if you will, to Dylan Bell. This could be the breakout, main album. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be the one. And by the way, NFL thinks it is. Like, here's the thing about the NFL when it comes to their scouts. Their scouts probably watch more Georgia football practice than any other football program. I don't know that to be true. I think that to be true. Okay, with Atlanta being a metro hub, with the Southeast region in general being very, very important, with Georgia having won multiple national titles, with really, really Super Bowl contending organizations in the league, really investing annually, perennially into Georgia's roster, this has become a hub. Like, NFL teams hang out here. A lot of I don't talk to a ton of scouts. The 4 or 5 of them that I'm a privy to is only because they're around this place so often, right? I don't know where I was going with this, but they invest in this roster a ton, and they already know about Dylan Bell. That's what I was going with. They've been around practice. They know enough about him. They've seen him enough in practice to know, holy shit, NFL body, NFL juice. We might be Deebo Samuel in this guy.
Well, I think you could see it, and not even just in Dylan Bell this year, but like ESPN saying that Raylan Wilson, breakout candidate on Georgia's defense this year. Like, all the talk is about CJ Allen and Samal Mondon and the freshmen that they just brought in, but ESPN is saying this Raylan Wilson guy, that's who we're circling on this defense. Like, you kind of like, people are probably like, why the heck is it Raylan Wilson? And it's like, well, probably because more people watch it.
This freshman, this redshirt freshman, this rising sophomore that as a senior in high school was 23 miles an hour on a field. That guy, the 230-pound, I think he ran 10.81 at 229 pounds. His senior year in high school.
Stupid.
That guy, you think that guy might be good? Yeah, he might be. I'm with you on that one. How about Jordan Hall, Xavier McLeod, Kristen Miller? Insert not Warren Brinson or Nazir Stackhouse. One of you guys, one of you 3 that I just mentioned: Jordan Hall, Xavier McLeod, Kristen Miller. And I know I left somebody out, but I'm talking about those 3 guys. First of all, they've invested a lot of equity and time and investment into those 3 individuals. Jordan Hall, 5-star. Kristen Miller, borderline top 200 player. He was a top 150 player consensus by the end of it, okay? Xavier McLeod just got him to transfer from an SEC program. They have spent assets and resources on those 3 individuals. They have to yield results this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
We got Ja Jarrett getting mentioned. I don't know if Ja's ever. I don't know. First of all, I don't know if Georgia will ever have another Jordan Davis. I don't know if that will ever exist. The 6'6", 340-pound human that truly revolutionizes y'all into a zero front defense. I think y'all are back into more of this D tackle nose tackle shade. Maybe play a true zero if we have to. But this day of you having a mountain in there that can run sideline to sideline, they just don't print those guys out every year. Like Ja might be it. He might become that. But we already knew Jordan Davis was going to be that 8 games into his freshman year. I don't know if people remember how dominant and how early on it was like, shit, what is this? Jordan Davis was. All right. Jordan Davis, by the 8th game of his freshman year, started playing. And from that point on, you averaged fewer than 100 yards rushing per game on your opponents. From the moment he became a starter and started playing starter minutes. Is that going to come back onto your roster? I don't know. No, probably never. I would venture more never than venture to say yes. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But anyways, I think you have to have one of these D tackles, particularly D tackles, turn into. I don't need Jordan or Jalen Carter. I don't think that, again, I don't know how often those are going to come around. But just give me flashes of something. You know what I'm saying? Give me flashes of something. That's all I need.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think it is just like you really just need one of those guys, or do you think
just one?
Just one,
and maybe maybe it's a combination of all 3.
Yeah.
But if you get, I do think they believe they're going to get 200 snaps out of McLeod this year. They think he's going to play SEC minutes. They think he's a big body that's physical, can play good run defense, and can stand up in the SEC and punch. And that's what you got to have. So the other guys got it. Yeah, like that's great. Hell yeah, Nick Carwell. Give me Tyler Clark. Bro, I had this conversation with somebody the other day because he came out, I think it might have been Schley County, or one of his counties that I was in. I was at his high school, okay? And they were talking about some Tyler Clark. And I was like, bro, people sleep on Tyler Clark. Tyler Clark was he was the definition of flash play. Tyler Clark was hella flash play guy. They need one of them. Get somebody mold into Tyler Clark and you'll be all right.
I believe he's still on an NFL roster. Yeah, he's with the Commanders, it looks like.
Bro, NFL dude. Showed NFL flashes, but just, couldn't put it together. Flashed so much.
Yeah, I did. That's such a good pull by Chat right there.
Good shit, Chat. You got any more? I got a couple more.
Nah, that was it for me.
RaRa Thomas. I need you. I wrote him down. I put a / RaRa / Dom.
Yeah.
Because it's money, bro. It's a bad year for both those dudes, man. You got to return to what we thought you were. Not saying that they showed signs of it last year, but man, RaRa's got to have if RaRa Thomas has 3 games of this stat line right here, 5 catches, 105 yards, and a tud. If he has 3 of those football games, he don't have to play another down the rest of the year. But just give me 3 of those. And, if one of them happened against one of your road games, that would be ideal. Dom's got to show up every game. I think Dom in the slot has to show up every single game. The RaRa's got to show up give me 5 for 105 twice, maybe 3 times. That would be ideal.
So like a George Pickens type season.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Give me one of those. And give me 7 touches a game for Dylan. Give me 8 touches a game for RaRa. Give me 15 touches a game for Etienne. Give me 10 touches a game for Rod, and let Carson just the rest. Just scatter the rest. I don't care. But these guys got to touch the ball. Did I miss anybody? I think those are the difference makers this year. Dylan, RaRa, Dom, Etienne, and maybe Jurasic or Delp somewhere in there, one of the tight ends. And then in the red zone, give me some Colby Young, feature him, whatever. It don't matter if everybody on the field knows what you're doing. He's still going to go get it. Yeah. But I'm going to go get that.
It's big for both Dom and RaRa because when you transfer from Missouri or Mississippi State to Georgia, that is you telling everybody, I know I'm better and I'm going to go to a place that is better so I can put up better numbers. Well, you actually have to put up those better numbers because I think if you don't, if you kind of just remain stagnant or you kind of regress a little bit, then the questions may start arising of when you go to the NFL draft of well, what happened when you got to a program like Georgia and these numbers didn't exactly increase, you didn't maybe live up to your competition. Those are the types of questions that will start arising, in my opinion, for both of them. But I don't think that's something that Georgia fans need to fear. I think they're both going to capitalize off of their opportunity this season.
Chat said Jalen Carter is Jason Giambi from Moneyball.
Oh, create him in the aggregate.
Yeah, we don't have to replace Giambi. We just got to replace them in the aggregate. We got to get 3 players that equate.
Billy,
Giambi.
This is Tyler Clark. He is mislabeled.
Billy, this is Xavier McLeod. South Carolina doesn't want him anymore, but we do. Hey, who's this guy?
People look at the defensive line position and they want to look at the sacks. They want to produce sacks, but they're looking at it all wrong. You want to produce stops. You want to produce
oh, you were cooking.
I was. You were
cooking there for a little bit for an ad lib. That's not bad.